Good evening. During the lockdown, I decided to have a look at some old airplane parts that I had lying around on my shelf. This is a manifold pressure and fuel pressure gauge. I guess it's written backwards because of the reversal from the camera. I replaced it with an electronic totalizer and digital manifold pressure gauge about a year ago. But like everybody else, I'm locked down. I'm bored. I thought, well, what the hell? Let's take it apart and see what's inside. And I was quite surprised. It's quite beautiful inside. So I thought, what the heck? Maybe some of you might enjoy this. So it's put together with 4 screws around the side, and then you just slide the instrument out of its case, and you can see this marvelous bronze mechanism. It looks like an old clock or something from the 1800s or early part of the last century. All mechanical, of course, and you can see the 2 sort of bellows mechanisms. One set of bellows that measures relative pressure and then translates that into a manifold pressure, or sorry, a fuel pressure reading. There's the fuel pressure bellows on this side, and then the manifold pressure bellows on this side. And then you can see the wonderful gear-like clock mechanism there that translates the motion from this arm into a gear motion on these 2 concentric shafts that control the 2 needles. Such a shame to replace this all with a digital gauge. One of the questions that people used to ask about these sorts of analog gauges is you get the sort of oscillating and vibrating with the needle, and people would say, well, what the heck's causing that, and how do I fix it? And I used to have to explain to people verbally, but now I can show you the back of the gauge. These are where the manifold pressure and the fuel pressure inputs are. If you take off the fitting, hidden underneath the fitting here is what they call a snubber. I don't know how well you can see that. There's a little tiny screw, a little Phillips head screw in there, and that little Phillips head screw just opens and closes an orifice and decreases the amount of air that can go through, or increases the amount of air that can go through. And so, of course, if you decrease the amount of air that can go through, or the amount of it damps out the pressure pulses. Essentially, it acts like an average. It averages out. It takes a few seconds for the needle to react. So it's a little bit of an art form to get the exact snubber setting. You have to play around with it to get it exactly right. Anyway, I just thought I would share that with you, because I guess I've only got a couple of more analog gauges in my airplane, and lo and behold, digital pretty soon, and then these things will just sit on the bookshelf. So I imagine that some of the World War II stuff must be really quite something inside. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. Some 30 seconds out of or 3 minutes out of your COVID lockdown, some entertainment. Cheers. Hope everybody stays safe.